was a court ruling, apparently, that took place that has theoretically banned the abortion pill, as it's called, or rather suspended the use of it, whatever. There was this court ruling that occurred, and because we have a bunch of right-wing courts in this country, and AOC has spoken about this. This is a couple days ago that this happened, but I'm just finding this out today. And AOC also has been tough on the courts in general. She is also calling for Clarence Thomas to be impeached. But here is a video, a clip, if you will. A lot of people are very upset about this. I've seen a lot of liberals are upset about this too. But here's a clip of AOC talking about how the Biden administration should handle the incoming right-wing court rulings and also the ones that have already came, but there's going to be more. So.
There has been thought, I believe, given to this. Senator Ron Wyden has already issued statements, for example, advising what we should do in a situation like this, which I concur, which is that I believe that the Biden administration should ignore this ruling. I think that the courts have the legitimacy and they rely on the legitimacy of their rulings. And what they are currently doing is engaged in an unprecedented and dramatic erosion of the legitimacy of the courts. It is the justices themselves, through the deeply partisan and unfounded nature of these rulings, that are undermining their own enforcement.
So you're saying the Biden administration should ignore this court, but what does that look like? What does that actually mean?
I think the interesting thing when it comes to a ruling is that it relies on enforcement. And it is up to the Biden administration to choose whether or not to enforce such a ruling.
But is that...
So, this is pretty good. I'm not going to lie here. I like the idea of a member of Congress basically saying, hey, the court system, fuck off. And again, a lot of people are very, very upset by this. Even some liberals are upset, some Biden supporters, and so on. Very upset. How dare you criticize our institutions? But there's multiple points throughout history where presidents have ignored court rulings. There have been situations, good or bad. For example, during the first couple decades of this country, a lot of the indigenous genocides that took place in this country's founding were going to originally, at least according to the courts at the time, they weren't going to take place in the way that they did. But several administrations, most notably Andrew Jackson, just ignored a lot of the court rulings that gave indigenous people, especially people that were already in the 13 colonies at the time. So we're not talking about the expanded territories, but we're talking about places like Georgia and so on. And that basically just paved the way for them to be completely genocided, ignoring a court ruling. That's in a bad example. We also have a good example of during Reconstruction, during the Civil War era, presidents have ignored the rulings that, hey, maybe slavery is good and we should keep having slavery. And the president was like, I don't know about that one, Jack. And there's many examples of presidents ignoring court rulings. You can look at FDR as well. So it's not like this is like something that has never happened before, right? So I know that a lot of the people that are triggered at this, they're going to hear the precedent and they're going to completely go, oh, well, this is reasonable then. I know, because they operate in logic. And in facts and rationality. But I think it's great that a member of Congress, by the way, this is like a really funny face. I don't know if this is like really good. I don't know. But I'm going to do her a favor and change that little freeze frame there. But I think it's good that a member of Congress is just talking about, yeah, fuck these courts. And again, she's also advocating to impeach Clarence Thomas for crimes against the court as well. I say this, and I've been saying this on my show, fuck these motherfuckers, all right? I don't respect the judiciary. I'm sorry. I mean, how many years has it been since Donald Trump committed dozens and dozens and dozens of crimes, and he's just now getting indicted for one hush money payment? Really? That's it? I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, think about it in this way. Somebody else that got sentenced to jail for the same crime that Donald Trump is just now getting indicted for already got sent to jail, served their sentence, left jail, and is now in their, like, second stage of a podcasting career. Talk about, like, Michael Cohen, right? So, like, this shit, like, I mean, again, fuck the justice system. That's just one example of the so-called justice system being garbage. I just personally think we should completely abolish the courts and start over. I think we should destroy the Constitution and start over. That's my opinion. I don't know if AOC would agree with me, or maybe she would, but I don't know if she would say that on CNN. But either way, I think it's good news when members of Congress are saying something based for once. And I'm here to say that's good news. So there you go. And there.